in the numerical analysis, and in that numerical analysis we shall study the interpolation and extrapolation. These are the very important terms. But before starting these two terms, first of all we shall revise the total formula. Actually, in that first chapter we have to discuss these two bits, that is interpolation and extrapolation. What is meant by interpolation? What is meant by extrapolation? How to calculate the intermediate value? There are different methods to find the interpolation. Okay, we shall discuss this later on. Before we shall revise this all the things. See, this is a delta E is equals to, means forward difference is equals to f of x plus h minus f of x. All these things you must know. Now this is a x raised to r factorial function. So that can be written as x minus h in this way. Then we shall discuss factorial function of n, means product of r is equals to 1 to n, x plus r minus 1, that is a factorial function. This is a shift operator, this is backward shift operator, relation between the delta and E. So we have seen these different nodes. Again in the last lecture, see this, in this last lecture we have also seen the different operator, that is operator D. D means the differential operator. D is denoted by dx, d by dx, or dyx, which is denoted by dy by dx. So we obtain the relation e raised to hd is equals to E, or which is equals to 1 plus delta, means E is equals to e raised to hd or 1 plus delta. H is the interval of differentiation. So we can write this relation also. हे रिलेशन पण पाहिलेलं. आता नाउ वी शॅल डिस्कस द इंटरपोलेशन. काय कौन सांगेल रे? इंटर का मतलब क्या होता है? इंटरपोलेशन. व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ इंटरपोलेशन स्टूडेंट्स? इंटर मीन्स intermediate. Polation means in the located value, intermediate located value. So we shall discuss how to find out the intermediate unknown term. So we shall discuss first of all what is meant by interpolation. You must know what is meant by interpolation. The interpolation means, see here, interpolation means insertion or filling up intermediate term Actually it is the technique, see this, it is the technique. There are different techniques to find the value of a function under some consideration, value of some unknown function, value of the function under some consideration. See this, for any intermediate value of independent variable, for any intermediate value of the independent variable when the value of corresponding value of function corresponding to the number of value of the variable, to the number of value of variable. See this. Now suppose that if we consider the function and term, that is x, such that a plus h, a plus 2h, dot 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 a plus 3h, dot 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 plus a plus nh. See this. These are the values of x. Then corresponding value of x, f of x is f of a plus h, f of a plus 2h. Then suppose we have to find the value of unknown term, this dot 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 f of a plus nh. So this is an unknown term, unknown function. So the process of finding unknown function, which is the intermediate of the given range, that is from a to f of a to f of a plus h. And this process of finding this unknown function, see this, process of finding this unknown function is called as the process of interpolation. You must know. According to the function, interpolation means actually insertion or filling up the intermediate term. That means actually to find the unknown term of the given function that is in the series. Suppose a plus h, a plus 2h, a plus 3h, these are the values of x. These are the values of x. Then its corresponding value of the function is f of a plus h, f of 2a plus a plus 2h. In this way, dot dot dot. This is the given series of f of x. In that, out of first to last series, if any one term is unknown, that is in between f of a to f of a plus nh, f of a plus nh, if any one term is unknown, then we can find that term by the process of interpolation. So it is the method for finding the interpolation. It is the technique to find the value of an unknown function under some consideration for any intermediate value, of a given function of independent variable, when the value of the function corresponding to the number of value of variable. See this variable. See this. This is unknown function. We have to find out f of a plus 3h. That is unknown function is f of a plus 3h is unknown function. Then our aim is to find out the value of unknown function. This is the variable. Okay. And for this unknown variable, we have to find out the function, that is unknown function. So this process is called as a interpolation. Okay. Now there is another process for the extrapolation. If the unknown function to find the function which is unknown and the value of a function outside the range of the variable is called variable. Okay, outside the variable, comma there, the process of computing such function is called extrapolation. Actually, see this, interpolation and extrapolation both are the process for finding the unknown value of x, unknown value of f of x. If f(x) is the independent variable, then its value, dependent value, that is f of x. Interpolation and extrapolation means the process for finding the value of unknown function for the variable. But interpolation means if an unknown function is in between the given, see this, in between the given range, unknown function in between the given range. See this range of the function is, see this range of the function is f of a to f of a plus nh. F of a to f of a plus nh, we have to find out the function f of x for a is equals to 3x. That is, it is the intermediate term in between. Unknown term ही फर्स्ट आणि लास्ट मध्ये दिलेल्या रेंज मधली कुठली तरी अननोन टर्म असेल तर त्याला इंटरपोलेशन म्हणतात. एक्स्ट्रापोलेशन म्हणजे अननोन टर्म जर रेंजच्या बाहेरची असेल, अननोन टर्म, if the unknown term is out of the range, then we have to call the process is called as a extrapolation. So that process is called as a extrapolation. समजते का एक्स्ट्रापोलेशन म्हणजे काय स्टुडंट? परत एकदा पहा. इंटरपोलेशन मीन्स अननोन टर्म इज द प्रोसेस, इंटरपोलेशन मीन्स द प्रोसेस ऑफ फिलिंग द अननोन टर्म, process of finding the unknown term, but unknown term is in between the range, so that process is called as interpolation. And extrapolation means the unknown term is here in the out of the range, then that process is called as extrapolation. Both processes are to find the unknown term, but interpolation means to find the intermediate term. Extrapolation means to find the term which is outside the range, to find the term which is outside the range. See this. म्हणजे see this, here x such that a plus h, a plus 2h, a plus 3h dot 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 a plus nh. Then its corresponding functions are f of a plus h, f of a plus 2h, f of a plus 3h, f of a plus nh. if the unknown term is out of the range, see this unknown term, this is the unknown term. Suppose this is f of a plus nh, f of a plus n plus 1 into h. This is the unknown term, unknown function. Or we can write the unknown function here also, f of a minus h, which is unknown function. Actually, this is a given range. Actually, this is a given range. But unknown function is out of the range. दिलेली रेंज कुठून कुठपर्यंत आहे, a to a plus nh पर्यंत आहे. Actually, the variables are a to a plus nh. But unknown term, we have to find f of a plus n plus 1h. Means outside the range. Or unknown term which we have to calculate, f of a minus h or f of a minus 2h. Then this process is called as the process to find the unknown term which is outside the range. Outside the range, then that process is called as a extrapolation. This process is extrapolation. This process is extrapolation. Means to find the unknown term out of the given range, to find the unknown term which is outside the given range, then that process is called as a extrapolation. You note that process is called as a extrapolation. And to find the unknown term in between the given range, इथं पहा range f of a to f of a plus h आहे, आणि suppose a plus 3h, f of a plus 3h is unknown term, we have to find. Then that process is called as a interpolation. That process is called as a interpolation. See this. For example, now this is for example, how to find out the process. Okay. समजलं का रे स्टुडंट, इंटरपोलेशन आणि एक्स्ट्रापोलेशन. ॲक्च्युअली इंटरपोलेशन अँड एक्स्ट्रापोलेशन आर बोथ द प्रोसेस टू फाइंड द अननोन टर्म. नाउ इंटरपोलेशन इज यूज्ड टू फाइंड द intermediate term or to find the unknown term which is given in the range, in between the range f of a to f of a plus nh. And extrapolation means to find the unknown term which is outside the range. Actually given range is f of a to f of a plus nh, but we have to find out f of a plus n plus 1 into h, n plus 2 into h, or f of a minus h, f of a minus 2h. म्हणजे सुरुवातीची अननोन टर्म, रेंजच्या अगोदरची आणि रेंजच्या नंतरची, म्हणजे लास्ट एंड पॉईंटच्या नंतरचे. सो दिस प्रोसेस इज कॉल्ड एज अ एक्स्ट्रापोलेशन. सो आता इथं अजम्पशन्स फॉर एक्स्ट्रापोलेशन. Okay, now see this. Now we shall discuss the method of interpolation. How to find out the intermediate term. See this. Methods of interpolation. There are to find the unknown term function by the interpolation method. First is graphical method. Second is method of curve fitting. Second method is method of curve fitting, and third method is use of finite difference. Use of a finite difference formulae. So in this chapter we shall discuss the different formulae which is used to find the unknown, that is unknown function, by using the interpolation method. Now we will see one by one what is meant by the graphical method. In short, we can write what is meant by the graphical method. So first, graphical method or graphic method. See this, in this method the unknown term, unknown function can be obtained by the plotting the graph of a given function y is equals to f of x by using the points xi comma yi for I is equals to 1, 2, 3 dot 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 n, and by plotting the graph of the point, the graph of the function y is equals to this. So by using these points we can find the intermediate value. So the unknown function can be obtained by the points in which x is independent variable and y is dependent. So in this case there is one drawback in the graphic method. We state that the value of y obtained is the estimated value of y. Estimated value of y differ from the actual value. The drawback of this method is that y is estimated value. See this, we have given y is estimated value which may be differ from actual value. Thus we can find, there is one method to find the unknown function by the graphic method. The graphic method means plot the graph of x and y means f of x. Plot the graph for the function x and f of x or y, and by using that graph we can obtain the value that is unknown term, that is y. So this is one type of a method, but some drawback of this method is the actual value. We can find the value y which is from x, it is the estimated value and it may be differs from the actual value. This is the drawback of this function, but we can approximate find the value. Next we shall discuss the second method, means curve fitting. B, curve method of curve fitting. Now this is the second method of the curve fitting. This method can be applied, see the students, note that this method can be applied only when the form of a function is known. If a function is given, then we can find this method. That means we need x and then also we need f of x. If f of x is given, then we can say that, then we can solve or then we can find the unknown function. This method can be applied only when the form of a function is given. Knowing the form of a function, we use the method of least square, and thus we are in the position to fit the curve to set n observed value. From the fitting curve we can calculate the unknown value y for intermediate value of x, which is being a function of x. This method also have a drawback. What is the drawback? This method gives estimated value of x, estimated value of y, which is a differ from bx. See this, I shall write here. This method, see this method can be applied only when the form of a function is given or known. f of x दिलेला असेल तरच, see this, I is like this. Suppose the x from, we consider the example x from, I shall write here. Suppose we have given x such that 1, 2, 3, 4 आणि समजा that is unknown 5, 6, and f of x is given, suppose x square plus 1, then we can find unknown value, suppose 4, if f of x is given. Curve fitting, in the curve fitting method, it is necessary that the function f of x must be given, then we can find the unknown term. So see this, in this method we can calculate the unknown value unknown value of y for an intermediate value of x, comma y being function of x. This method also have a drawback. This method has also drawback, which are: number one, this method gives an estimated value of y for given x. This method gives estimated value of y for a given x. Estimated value of y for given x. Now there is also another drawback. 1 minute. It is useful only the number of observed point is sufficiently large. It is useful only when the number of observed points is sufficiently large. It gives a better approximation than the graphic method. Third, it gives better approximation than the graphic method. Now these are the different drawbacks of the method of curve fitting. Now we shall discuss the use of finite difference formulae. See this, use of a finite difference formulae. Now third is use of finite difference formulae. See this, use of a finite difference formulae. That means there are different interpolation formulae. We can find the intermediate term by using the different interpolation formulae. So we shall use the technique of, in this method, we shall use the techniques of interpolation or different interpolation formulae. Different techniques or different interpolation formulae. See this. This is the third method, and we have to study in this syllabus. Now here, how to find out the intermediate term, how to find out the techniques, we shall discuss one by one, and we shall solve the problems. Okay. So there are different techniques, that is equal interval technique, unequal interval, that is formulae for equal interval, second formulae for unequal interval, formulae for the equal intervals, formulae for the unequal intervals. Next, it is also central difference, we shall discuss later on. Now formulae for the equal intervals, formulae for the unequal intervals. Now we shall discuss next what is mean by interpolation with equal interval. See this, interpolation for or interpolation with equal intervals. See this, suppose that let x such that a plus h, a plus 2h, a plus 3h dot 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 a plus nh. Then its corresponding value, that is f of x such that f of a plus h, f of a plus 2h, f of a plus 3h dot 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 f of a plus nh. Now in this case the points are a comma f of a plus h comma f of a plus h. Here the points are, here the points are which are those? A comma f of a, second point a plus h comma f of a plus h. In this way we can obtain the points. So there are suppose 2 points A and B. Okay, there are 2 points A and B, and the functions here, let see this, be the 2 points A and B are given, suppose given to us. Then y is equals to C0 plus C1x. By using these two points, if we consider the linear equation, that is y is equals to C0 plus C1x, be a linear expression in x, then the function y is equals to f of x in terms of a difference. Now the function y is equals to f of x in the form of a difference. Here C0 and C1 are constant, so we can write delta f of a, which is equals to, we can write, suppose delta f of x is equals to, what is the formula, students? Delta f of x is equals to f of x plus h minus f of x. So we can write, so the difference delta f of a equals to f of a plus h minus f of a. But here y is equals to f of x is c0 plus c1x. So we can write this difference delta f of a, which is equals to c0 plus c1 into a plus h. C0 plus c1, in place of x put x plus h minus this term. So we get minus, we can write c0 plus c1 into x, where see this c0 and c1 are constant. Note that x is an independent variable, y is a dependent variable, or f of x is a dependent variable. Then we can write the linear expression c0 plus c1x. So we can convert this. Now solve this. c0 plus c1a plus c1h minus c0 minus c1x. Then this c0 will be get cancel. Sorry, यहाँ पे ये रखना है ये. So c1 a and this c1 a will be get cancelled. The remaining term is c1 into h, which is the constant here. c1 into h, which is the constant, and we can obtain the difference in this way. So this implies that according to the Lagrange's mean value theorem, or we can write this as in the form of a difference theta. So this implies that f of a plus theta h, which is equals to f of a plus h, that is a plus theta into delta f of a. So we can write this as 1 minus theta into f of a plus theta into f of a plus h. Theta into f of a plus h. So thus we get the linear interpolation formula. Thus we can obtain the linear interpolation फॉर्म्युला. हे काही महत्त्वाचं नाही आहे, हे फक्त तुम्हाला माहिती आहे. इंटरपोलेशन विथ अनइक्वल इंटरवल्स, सॉरी इक्वल इंटरवल्स. So if we consider x and f of x such that a plus h, a plus 2h dot 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 a plus nh, and f of a plus, in that, suppose if we want to calculate a plus nh, then we have to form the interpolation formula, and interpolation formula can be obtained by using this difference or the Lagrange's. We have seen in the, I think we have seen in the B.Sc. first year, that is f of a plus theta h. F of a plus theta h can be written as f of a plus theta into delta f of a plus h, delta f of a. So this can be written as 1 minus theta into f of a plus theta into f of a plus h, and thus we can obtain the intermediate formula. हे फक्त theory आहे, याची काय आवश्यकता नाही आहे. परंतु actually आता see this, out of these three methods, our aim is to find out the unknown term. Our aim is to find out the unknown term by using the finite difference formula, and we have to see one by one. There are nearly about 4 to 5 interpolation formulae which we have to study. So tomorrow we shall discuss how to use the interpolation formula, how to form the interpolation formula, then how to use that interpolation formula by using unknown term to find the unknown term. So tomorrow we shall start the new interpolation formula. finite difference formulae. Out of that different formulae, we have to discuss one